of ceremonies for these morning's proceedings. The Honourable Onej Waldron, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. The Honourable Warren Kwame UC McCoy MP, Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs of Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Dr. Delria Newman, Vice Chairman of CANTO. Mrs. Teresa Wanking, Secretary General of CANTO. Mr. Gregory Dean, Chief Executive Officer of Digital Guyana. Mr. Abu Zeman, Chief Commercial Officer of eNet. Mr. Damian Blackburn, Chief Executive Officer of GTT Inc. Ms. Jennifer Britton, Deputy Program Manager, ICT 4D of the CARICOM Secretariat. Mr. Andre Griffith, Director of the Telecommunications Agency. Mr. Mark Gobin, Representative of the Public Utilities Commission. Senior government officials, special invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning to you. Now, based on today's events, we are here to launch a CANTO eMARKET platform. And I see it in terms of being a symmetry of various parts coming together in terms of disciplines, legal and regulatory, business, procurement, how we operate as a business and changing the way how we do things. And it's funny that it's serendipitous that we're starting today's proceedings in Guyana, kicking off starting the roadshow. Guyana is the land of many waters, and all streams have led us here from far and wide. Our vendors are here, sponsors, members of the media, and we're just grateful to have you here. So at least give yourself a round of applause. Thank you very much. And for all of our visitors here, and I was speaking with Ms. Anita Lal from Kanu, there are two things that you need to have in Guyana before you leave, and Minister Waldron would agree. You need to have lava and you need to have creek water. Those are the two things that will truly make you a Guyanese. I've been here for I'm Jamaican by birth, but I'm Guyanese by adoption. I've been here for almost 7 years. And the whole process and the change in terms of knowing the culture, understanding the culture, and this being based on where Guyana is right now in the Caribbean as a center and a melting pot for change and development, it is only apt that CANTO chose this location here to begin the roadshow for the CANTO eMARKET. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you Mrs. Teresa Wanking. Teresa Rankin is our able Secretary General. She's driven to promote social and economic growth and development through the use of ICTs. She's adept at bringing together stakeholders to create a culture of innovation and collaboration to ensure that all segments of the Caribbean society benefit from the rapid changes taking place within the region. CANTO, as you know, is a regional association of telecommunications operators and service providers with 111 members in 32 countries, with its headquarters in Trinidad and Tobago. As Secretary General, Mrs. Wanking oversees the operations of the association, manages its capacity building initiatives in the region, and directs the planning, implementation, and delivery of multinational development programs. Most recently, Teresa was selected as a Caribbean business leader to recognize that the underrepresentation of women in key leadership roles is a key motivating factor to change and developing ICT within the region. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Wanking.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Good morning, all. All protocols having been observed. Time flows the way water does, incessantly and unrelenting. And to stay above the tides of change, we must adapt and adapt quickly. Industries like ours are built on the premise of innovation and growth. In a rapidly evolving world, it is only natural for us at CANTO to be the leading force in identifying opportunities and developing new products and services for the growth of economic activities in the region. Opportunities and innovation in this instance have led us here to Guyana, one of the fastest growing economies in the world, for the launch of CANTO's eMARKET procurement portal, enabling companies in Guyana to join us in becoming pioneers in this revolutionary space. As Secretary General of CANTO, it is my distinct pleasure to be here this morning as we seek to transform the way we procure goods and services across the region by simply bringing buyers and sellers together in one single digital marketplace. Before going further, I must tell a story about the birth and development of the CANTO eMARKET platform and why we have chosen Guyana as the first country to feature this project. This project started 2 years ago when the CANTO Vendors and Suppliers Committee, ably chaired by Mr. Sheikh Hussein, sought a solution to a problem that the region was facing. We sought to increase opportunities for companies to showcase products and services to a worldwide audience while creating a more competitive environment for businesses in the region. The solution, as we will see this morning, is the CANTO eMARKET procurement platform, a cloud-based procurement system designed to streamline and improve the speed and efficiency of procurement processes. More importantly, it provides registered users with access to a global network of vendors, suppliers, operators, and companies in the ICT ecosystem. And you will hear more about the technical aspect, its components, and how it can be of great benefit to companies here this morning. In a post-COVID world, we have seen a tremendous uptake in the digitalization agenda in the region. Countries are making great progress towards digitalization, focusing on innovation and digital transformation at both the national and local levels to create technology-driven industries. When I joined CANTO over 20 years ago, Guyana was one of the first places I visited. Back then, I held the position of research officer and was working towards building capacity and in identifying opportunities to promote growth and development for the CANTO membership. I was excited at the time because it was my first visit to Guyana, and Guyana was the home of the CARICOM Secretariat, and I was in awe of the work they were doing to move the region forward. The Caribbean Single Market and Economy, CSME as we all know it, was a new kid on the block at the time. And two of the first people I met and interacted with in the ICT sector are in the audience this morning, Andre Griffith and Jennifer Britton. And they both shared a passion to move the region forward by creating robust systems to be put in place for development of this region. And I'm really happy to be in Guyana this morning. I'm in awe. They're my two heroes in Guyana, ICT space. I learned a lot from them. Just a few years ago during the pandemic, I had the pleasure of meeting the Prime Minister of Guyana, the Honorable Brigadier Mark Anthony Phillip. And I was also excited to see his own passion for using ICT to move the region and the country forward. Coupled with this background, it is to be noted that one of our founding members of CANTO, GTNT, is located in Ghana, and also one of our newest members, eNetworks, also located in Guyana. Our Vice Chair, Dr. Newman, does considerable work in Guyana, and Mark Reynolds is a member of the CANTO board. So I'm saying all this to say, naturally, there was no other country we could have chosen to launch this product, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the CANTO eMARKET procurement platform is a revolutionary tool for the region and a game changer for your company. It will transform the way you procure goods and services and provide you with an opportunity to showcase your product and services to a global audience while giving buyers unlimited solutions for your businesses. This ultimately means growth, development, and economic activity as we continue to build robust economies in the region. A venture like this is only made possible through the ingenuity and hard work of those involved, as well as the unwavering support of those who assist along the way. With the combined strength and influence of the long-standing relationship between CANTO and the ICT stakeholders in Guyana, I'm happy to announce that registration for everyone in this room on the eMARKET platform, it could be done this morning, and it's very, very free of charge. So you are in an opportunity to register on the platform and start. Yes. Okay. My endless gratitude is extended to all government officials and partners, our members and vendors and operators of Guyana. A special thank you to the organizations that provided endless support in making today's event a success. The government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, the Telecommunications Agency in Guyana, GT&T, Power and Tel, Amino, Superior XX, Comscope, Corning, and of course Telecommunications Services of Trinidad and Tobago. And to you, the distinguished members of the audience who have joined us here this morning, and those of you on the live stream, I say a big welcome to the CANTO eMARKET platform and the CANTO community, a community focused on the Caribbean with a global perspective. I thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wankin. Teamwork, history, collaboration, understanding. That is what has brought us to this point here. And it's not lost in me in terms of the next speaker, Dr. Delria Newman, as to why I am here in Guyana. When I used to, personal story, when I used to represent another operator, I was actually invited to do a keynote in Suriname, very green, a couple of years ago, and a gentleman by the name of Delria Newman, as he was at that time, asked me about the opportunity of coming to Guyana. And I thought about life. And eventually, I took the plunge to come to Guyana in January 2017. And not only being just a cornerstone of the organization and just growing the industry, he has truly, and his CV does not, not his CV, his introduction does not give even an inch of what he has contributed to the telecommunications industry throughout the region. But I proceed. Dr. Newman is currently the Executive Director of International Regulatory and Government Affairs at ATNI. He has been with the company for the last 12 years and has had over 30 years of telecommunications experience in the telecommunications industry. He has held several positions in NINEX. He has led the telecommunications regulator in Jamaica. He was actually the first Deputy Director General of the OUR and managed the transition from a monopolist to a competitive industry. He has been a senior advisor to several Caribbean governments, both in policy and regulatory process. He holds an advanced degree in economics, as well as public policy and administration, with an emphasis on small developing country telecommunications, regulatory processes, and development. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Delria Newman.
Good morning. Thank you, Mark, for that. And you may wonder, after 30 years of experience, why I look so young. Honorable Ministers, if you would graciously allow me to stand on the existing protocols as so beautifully laid out by the Master of Ceremonies. On behalf of the Chairman of CANTO, today I stand before you to shed light on the revolutionary tool that has transformed the world of procurement and supply chain management. That is the CANTO e-procurement platform. In an era where technology continues to evolve and reshape industries, the CANTO platform has emerged as a game changer, empowering organizations to streamline their procurement processes and achieve unprecedented efficiency and cost savings. In this era of technological advancement, it is imperative for businesses to adapt and embrace digital transformation in order to thrive and stay competitive. One of the key benefits of the CANTO e-procurement platform is its ability to automate and digitize manual procurement processes. Traditionally, procurement has been a labor-intensive and time-consuming task involving piles of paperwork and numerous manual steps. This platform eliminates these inefficiencies by automating repetitive tasks such as purchase requisitions, approvals, and invoice processing, allowing procurement professionals to focus on strategic activities rather than administrative burdens. Moreover, the platform leverages advanced analytics and machine learning capabilities to provide organizations with valuable insights into their procurement data by analyzing historical purchasing patterns and supplier performance. The platform enables organizations to make data-driven decisions and identify opportunities for cost optimization and risk mitigation. With real-time dashboards and customizable reports, it empowers procurement teams to monitor key performance indicators and drive continuous improvements within their supply chains. The platform also promotes transparency and collaboration among stakeholders. Through its supplier management module, organizations can evaluate and onboard suppliers based upon predefined criteria, ensuring compliance with regulatory standards and quality requirements. The platform facilitates seamless communication between buyers and suppliers, enabling them to share information, negotiate contracts, and resolve disputes in a secure, auditable manner. The CANTO platform also promotes transparency and collaboration among stakeholders. Through its supplier management module, organizations can evaluate and onboard suppliers based upon predicted criteria, ensuring compliance with regulatory standards, quality requirements. The platform facilitates seamless communication between buyers and suppliers, enabling them to share information, negotiate contracts, and resolve disputes in a secure, auditable manner. Furthermore, CANTO Marketplace features provides access to a wide network of suppliers, both local and international. This expands the procurement options available to organizations, fostering healthy competition and driving down costs. By leveraging CANTO's platform marketplace, organizations can find the best suppliers, negotiate favorable terms, and ensure a steady supply of goods and services, thereby enhancing their operational resilience. In conclusion, the CANTO e-procurement platform has revolutionized the procurement landscape, providing organizations with the tools they need to optimize their supply chains, achieve cost savings, and enhance operational efficiency. Through automation, analytics, and collaboration features, CANTO platform empowers procurement professionals to make informed decisions, drive strategic sourcing initiatives, and build resilient supplier networks. As we embrace the digital age, it is imperative for organizations to leverage innovative technologies like the CANTO platform to stay ahead in the competitive business landscape. By embracing this platform, organizations can unlock the full potential of their procurement function and pave the way for a more efficient and sustainable future. Thank you for your attention on this.
Thank you, Dr. Newman. It's funny because, Mrs. Watkins set out the history. Dr. Newman has broken it down into the key salient points. And most importantly, I think we should all acknowledge that this platform is actually indigenous to the region. It is a program for us, by us, to be used throughout the Caribbean. And it's my experience is that normally we tend to look for ideas from the global north as it would be characterized. But this is a platform that has actually been developed through the region that we can use to take our businesses away from the big brown box out in front of the ministry where you have to go and drop a bid, and now goes to a situation where everything is done online. You're able to see it. There's transparency, there is time, there is efficiency. Thank you, Dr. Newman, for your points. Speaking of transformation, we come to our next speaker, Mr. Damian Blackburn, Chief Executive Officer of GTT. Since May 2021, Mr. Blackburn has led Guyana's premier telecommunications operator, GTT, and strengthens the company's commitment to bring 21st century telecommunications to Guyanese homes and businesses. Damian leads the GTT team that is 750 strong to focus on delivering on its key promises to strengthen the community, reliably connect the customer, and innovate for all in Guyana. He's leading the company through a multi-year investment program of over $100 million to bring its high-speed fiber services available to over 75% of homes and to upgrade its mobile network to 4.5 LTE. Damon has worked in the Caribbean region since 2008 and was most recently the founding Chief Executive Officer of Alive in the Bahamas, a new entrant mobile network operator. Before this, he held key roles at Digicel as the Regional Chief Executive Officer across 15 of the Eastern, North, and Dutch Caribbean markets, as well as a Group Business Development Director and the Chief Executive Officer of Digicel's largest market in Haiti and its operation in Honduras. He has served as a Director and Chair of Foncose from 2013 to 2020, a double bottom line microfinance institution that provides microfinance and other financial services, mainly to the rural women of Haiti. Prior to relocating to the Caribbean, Damian held senior management positions with Virgin Mobile, BT Group, Digicel, and Vodafone Orange, which is a joint venture. He was a key part of the team that launched Virgin Mobile in the UK, leading to an IPO of the business in the London Stock Exchange. He has also founded and served as a director of several startup businesses in the technology and payment solutions space. History, experience, we have heard from our presenters. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Damian Blackburn.
Honourable Ministers, I beg your gracious indulgence to stand on the protocol so graciously established before. Mark, thank you for that very lengthy introduction. I'm not convinced that was necessary. I'm privileged to address you on a topic of great importance today, the challenges faced by operators in our region when it comes to procurement. Those of you who know me know that I'm a big proponent and champion of competition. And right now, if you were to look on the social media of Guyana, you will see competition in action in a big way here. However, CANTO is a great body that allows collaboration, because although we compete as operators in a lot of ways, we also need to collaborate on things where there are common cause. And CANTO acts as an organisation for regulatory bodies, operators, vendors, and any other stakeholder that is involved in the industry to collaborate. We also have a duty. We operate in a beautiful place in the Caribbean, but we are one of the smallest regions in the world, and we have a duty as stakeholders in the region when we see initiatives that are born in the region, to actually embrace them and bring them to life. And I believe that this is one such initiative that we as stakeholders have a huge duty in supporting. I understand from my brief conversation earlier with Mark, this fantastic initiative was given life in Trinidad, and I think we'll hear more about that soon. And it's now on all of us to make sure that we adopt this fantastic solution, this 21st century procurement solution. All of us as stakeholders in this room, we adopt it and use it to make it stronger. I'm sure it won't have all of the functionality at the beginning that we need, but if we input what we need, we will get what we need. So I stand here not just as the CEO of GTT, but as the president of ATN International's international operations, to say that we pledge everything to try and bring this platform to use in our own organisations. I know we've already started on that journey in GTT. We will look at our other operations to do that. And I challenge my brothers and sisters in larger houses than the one I stand in now, that by the CANTO conference in July, those larger organisations, I request please that you also lend your support to this marvellous initiative and at least pilot the use of the platform in some of the markets that you operate in. It is an ever-evolving digital landscape. Procurement plays a crucial role in the success and sustainability of telecommunication services everywhere. It is through procurement right now that we acquire the necessary resources, technologies and partnerships to deliver reliable and innovative services to our customers. We have just lived through one of the greatest disruptions of our time, the pandemic. We saw the disruption, and we are still experiencing to some degree the disruption of supply chains being interrupted, just at the moment that the demand for our services in the industry were at the maximum, when everybody was forced to work from their homes. We could definitely not have done what we did in GTT and the other ATN international properties, done our part through that pandemic without the close collaboration with our vendors. It was even more important, or it is even more important right now here in Guyana, where, as I said, competition is hot, but the need, as Guyana makes the vast changes it is making at the moment, to get 21st century telecommunications to every person in this country, that need is massive. We have embarked on, in GTT, on our contribution, the largest and fastest fibre rollout that I've been involved in, pledging to get to 75% of homes having the availability of fibre to their home by next year, in 2024. And that produced a massive procurement challenge for all of the vendors. Some of you are sat in here in the room today, and I say publicly thank you for overcoming a lot of the challenges that we've all faced. There is a shortage of materials. It's difficult competing when you're in the Caribbean region for materials, when you're competing against other bigger regional blocks. By all getting on the same platform and all using the same things, we will make it easier for our vendors, and I pledge that we will do that going forward. Embracing the emerging technologies such as automation, analytics, the chatbots of the world, the Internet of Things, greatly enhances the efficiency and transparency of the procurement process. By leveraging tools, and this fantastic tool, we will streamline vendor management, improve decision making, and mitigate risks. There are other things in the procurement process that we don't often think about that have been considered in the development of this platform. We have regulatory requirements we need to meet, not just regulatory requirements from the direct oversight that we receive from the telecommunications regulators, but often regulatory requirements from lots of other bodies, for example, environmental bodies, environmental standards, financial services sometimes, and we need to build that into this complex procurement process so it is easier, the process becomes easier for our teams. In conclusion, the challenges we face as operators in the region when it comes to procurement are significant, but they are not insurmountable with the assistance of platforms like these. By embracing collaboration between stakeholders, leveraging this fantastic technology, prioritizing resilience and security, and empowering our communities with a tool that's been developed right here in our region, we can navigate these challenges and unlock the full potential of our regional digital ecosystem. I am confident that with the collective efforts we have here, we can champion a future of safe, universal connectivity and inclusion and meet all of our goals and enable growth and innovation and get telecommunication services to all those who need them in the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Blackburn. Before I proceed with the agenda, I'd like to take the opportunity to acknowledge Mr. Julian Wilkin, former director of CANTO, former director and also former chairman of CANTO. Now, as you know, the success of eMARKET platform is not dependent on the private sector and also the persons that are bringing it to light, which is why we are honored to have the presence of ministers of government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. And I'd like to proceed with introducing to you the Honorable Warren Kwame Yusi McCoy, Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Minister McCoy was appointed to a ministerial portfolio in the cabinet of His Excellency President Mohamed Irfan Ali on August 5th, 2020, and to a seat in the 12th Parliament of Guyana following the electoral victory of the People's Progressive Party Civic in the March 2nd general and regional elections. Minister McCoy, who holds responsibility for public affairs and whose functions are embedded within the Office of the Prime Minister, brings to the portfolio a wealth of experience in media, strategic communication, management, and executive administration, having accumulated more than 2 decades of professional industry experience. Minister Kwame McCoy is now entrusted with the task of furthering the advancement of the consolidation and modernization of the state media and communications apparatus, while expanding the reach of government communication to community levels nationwide and across the digital and social media spectrums to reach Guyanese at home and abroad. His passion and drive for bridging social and developmental gaps between the citizenry and their elected officials through the path of communication will see the minister leveraging the resources at his disposal in a concerted effort to better connect citizens with their government. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Minister Kwame McCoy.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I intend to be brief as my other colleagues who have spoken here so far this morning, except for the Master of Ceremonies, who is blessed with the opportunity of intervening on several points of this program, will be the longest speaker at the end of this session. Thank you. Masters of Ceremony, my colleague, Honorable Onage Waldron, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Vice Chairman of CANTO, Dr. Delra Newman, Secretary General of CANTO, Ms. Teresa Watkins. I see members of the Board of Directors of CANTO, representative of Digicel, Mr. Gregory Dean. I understand the representative of eNet is also here amongst all of you distinguished ladies and gentlemen, special invitees, and my members of the media. First, I extend a warm and hearty welcome to the members of CANTO to Guyana. Guyana is always a good place to be, in a place in which you could always feel our hospitality, and you can always share the joys, many joys of Guyana, whether you remain in Georgetown or you go out into the interior or see any other part of our beautiful country. We're happy to be hosting you here this morning, as this is an important event, the launch of the CANTO e-procurement marketplace, which will create a digital space to enable buyers and sellers in the regional ICT telecommunications industry to conduct their business more efficiently and in a more favorable digital environment. During Guyana's previous address to you in February of this year, we underscored CANTO's important role as part of the corporate Caribbean. Guyana values the significance of CANTO as a core stakeholder group in the ICT sector, with principal providers of connectivity for the people of our region. Given the importance of connectivity for our development, it is incumbent upon us to support you, and of course, as you seek to find innovative and efficient ways for all players in this industry to operate. I believe that as we consider the importance of today's launch, it is equally important to highlight how significant it is within the context of the world in which we operate. ICTs are vital for any country's development across various domains. They drive economic growth, enable access to information and knowledge, and can help to improve governance and the delivery of public services. They can enhance healthcare delivery, the delivery of education, and even infrastructural development. Within the ICT industry, the operators provide a wide variety of goods and services to achieve these goals and satisfy our people's needs. Members, no doubt, continue to face many supply chain issues in the regional space, including lengthy and cumbersome procurement processes and cycles, limited process standardization, and records management challenges. These problems often manifest in higher sourcing costs, operational inefficiencies, lack of visibility of supplier performance, and most importantly, sometimes poor customer service. These issues were exacerbated with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, which resulted in supply chain disruptions globally and which, to date, continue to affect stakeholders in their ability to operate efficiently in the procurement of goods and services. We applaud CANTO's recognition of these issues and their proactivity in heeding the proposal made by the telecommunications service providers of Trinidad and Tobago, TSTT, for an e-procurement marketplace. Just 2 years ago, the initial proposal was made. We are seeing the results of hard work, dedication, and strategic and efficient execution come to fruition in the official launch of this platform. We are pleased to be part of today's launch as it cements in the history of CANTO's existence a moment where we contribute to revolutionizing the regional ICT telecommunications industry. The CANTO e-procurement marketplace will seek to streamline the procurement process, increase efficiency, reduce cost, improve transparency and accountability. With a single space for buyers and sellers to converge for their ICT procurement needs, this platform will serve as a key enabler of supply chain efficiency for its members. It will further help improve supplier relationships in the ICT telecommunications industry through improved quality, pricing, and delivery times. Our businesses will be provided with an integrated network with an expansive reach to explore a more diverse pool of suppliers, fostering healthier competition and ensuring the best opportunity for sourcing the right products and services. So beyond the economic and developmental benefits, there is a significant opportunity for positives within our region's business and commerce sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a win-win for the Caribbean region. As the leading private sector entity shaping the ICT industry in the Caribbean region and the Americas, I'm confident that CANTO will secure the full support of its members and all stakeholders of the ICT industry to ensure that the best solutions are provided for the efficient deployment of ICTs towards the improvement of our lives and sustainable development of our region. As such, I wish to extend congratulations to CANTO on the launch of this platform, and I wish the project every success as we work towards the digital transformation of our region. I would also like to apologize for the absence of Prime Minister Mark Phillips, who's unavoidably absent and has asked me to deliver these remarks on his behalf, and of course to all have you know that he welcomes you to Guyana, and of course is looking forward for the continuous relationship with the CANTO organization and us being able to push forward with our ICT objective in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again, and I'm looking forward for the success of this initiative.
Thank you, Minister McCoy, and also thank you for bringing the message and address from the Prime Minister, Mark Phillips. Funny enough, Guyana has been a special place to CANTO. Not only, I mean, all of the territories, but in a sense, up until very recent, the AGM that was held here was the highest attending AGM in the history of the organization in 2019. So there are a lot of firsts for Guyana here in terms of the organization, and to the office of the Prime Minister here, they have always been supportive to the mission of CANTO. Always attending. Prime Minister Phillips is always one of the first ministers to always say, listen, when is the next event? When is the next event? And always providing the support necessary and ensuring that the team of the ministry is present. Thank you. Speaking to support and speaking to driving this engine forward, we come to our keynote of the morning from Minister Onej Waldron, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Minister Waldron is a Member of Parliament and Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. She was appointed on August 7th, 2020, with a wide-ranging portfolio for business matters in Guyana. In addition to responsibility for development of Guyana's tourism industry, Minister Waldron has responsibility for regulating and transforming Guyana's business climate to facilitate the development of internationally competitive business enterprises. She has policy oversight for a range of entities, including the Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission, the Small Business Bureau, the Guyana National Bureau of Standards, and the Guyana Tourism Authority. Minister Waldron is an attorney at law with over 20 decades of experience, having been called to the bar in 1998, and her legal experience spans both the public and private sectors. In the public sphere, she spent several years in the judiciary as a magistrate, in addition to which she held senior level appointments in the executive arm of government. Immediately prior to her appointment as minister, she served as legal officer in the Ministry of Public Telecommunications, where she was integrally involved in the establishment of Guyana's telecommunications agency, the technical regulator of the telecommunications sector. She also served as the agency's first corporate secretary and legal counsel. Minister Waldron's experience has given her a deep appreciation of the problems that confront businesses in general, especially in the realm of regulatory compliance, as well as a special appreciation for the unique issues facing small businesses. History, experience, and a wealth of knowledge in the area. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Minister Annette Waldron.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. And Dr. Newman, I think I get to claim the title after 20 decades of practice of looking younger than 40. My colleague minister was just saying, that's your picture? That's a younger version of you? I said, for me, that was just a year ago. Master of Ceremonies, colleague minister, Minister McCoy, minister within the office of the Prime Minister, Dr. Newman, Vice Chair of CANTO, Ms. Teresa Wankin, Secretary General of CANTO, special invited guests, members of the media, other members of the head table. I begin by echoing the sentiments expressed by my colleague minister, Mr. McCoy, and by extending to our overseas guests from CANTO a warm welcome to Guyana, the land of many waters. I must say it brought me distinct pleasure to hear a man with a Jamaican accent extolling the virtues of Guyana. So thank you very much for that, Mr. Master of Ceremony. Speaking very passionately about Guyana. The Prime Minister, along with Minister McCoy, extends his best wishes to CANTO. And as you know, he is currently acting president, so he unavoidably could not be here. He continues to express that he wishes CANTO all the best, and he holds CANTO as a valuable partner in the development of the telecommunications sector. The CANTO eMARKET holds considerable potential for the development of business, especially small business, and this is why I'm here in capacity as a minister with a responsibility for industry and commerce. However, I also hold responsibility for tourism, and in that capacity, it is simply impossible for me to resist urging our visitors, and those looking virtually, to put aside some time to experience Guyana beyond your various hotels and beyond this conference center. I understand that you're planning to finish here at 1 p.m. This leaves more than enough time for you to perhaps have a city tour or to even escape Georgetown for a quick drive along the upper East Coast and into West Berbice. Whatever it is you do, I urge you to try to experience Guyana beyond Georgetown. Hopefully your experience will whet your appetite and encourage you to return, perhaps with friends and family, for an extended period and for a deeper and richer experience. Turning to the business at hand, I'm pleased to be here at the launching of CANTO's eMARKET for a number of reasons. One such reason is my past and connection to the sector, as was mentioned. Some of you may know that I spent some time in the sector prior to my current appointment. Indeed, during that period, I recall participating in some CANTO meetings, one in Trinidad and Tobago and another right here in Georgetown. At those events, the scope and reach of the organization became evident to me. Among the membership of CANTO are national, regional, and global firms in the telecommunication and wider ICT sectors. You have operators, equipment suppliers, software developers, management, and consultants, specialist consultants amongst you. Your membership includes global names such as Ericsson, Huawei, Cable and Wireless, regional firms, as well as national operators, as GT&T, eNet, Telcel, Belize Telecoms, and others. From my current perspective, I see the collective membership of CANTO as a vast reservoir of talent and resources that can be tapped for the benefit of the region. To give an example as why I say this, I turn to an interesting industry concept that I was exposed to while operating in the sector. I was advised that traditional telecommunication systems were engineered for what is called 5 nines availability. That is to say, those systems were required to be up and running and available to their users 99.99% of the time. In macro terms, a 5 9 system could not be unavailable to its users for more than 5 minutes in an entire year. This is indeed a remarkable level of performance, and it is almost staggering to think of the ecosystem that must be behind it. The people, the systems, the investment, the training, the knowledge, the sheer capability that must underline such a level of performance is astounding. And this brings me to another reason which I'm enthused by the deployment of this system, which is that much of this capability resides right here in the region, including here in Guyana. It is, after all, our own people who keep the wheels turning and keep the system going. The talent is right here, and I think we miss a golden opportunity if we do not make a purposeful effort to tap these capabilities and deploy them for our collective development. CANTO's eMARKET has the potential to be a vehicle by which we can harness some of that tremendous capability that resides in its membership. To do so, however, we have to seek procurement as much more than a purely transactional process of acquiring goods and services. Instead, we have to view procurement and supply chain management as strategic activities that are the very core of business competitiveness. For while businesses may outsource what they see as their non-core activities, it remains true that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Where the so-called non-core activities are outsourced, it is in the interest of buyers of goods and services that the seller's capabilities are up to standard and fit for purpose. And if the buyers aspire to be world-class providers, then so too must be even the weakest of their suppliers. In this context, procurement becomes more than simply the acquisition of goods and services. It becomes instead a feature of the strategic relationships within the supply chain or throughout the supply network in which each actor is dependent on the other for survival and success. In really successful economies, these mutual dependencies have led to larger firms undertaking programs of supplier development to ensure that their suppliers can perform at the levels required. And experience has shown that where such development programs have existed, this has contributed to the proverbial rising tide lifting all ships. There is, to my mind, no reason why we cannot leverage these tremendous talents and capabilities that inhere in the members of CANTO as part of a purposeful effort to develop our small and medium enterprises. That, to me, is the true promise, the true value of this e-marketplace which CANTO is bringing to the region. The e-procurement portal also delivers value through its potential to give a comprehensive view of the regional market for goods and services. It might be the case that a seller located in any one country may not find it financially feasible to supply only in their local market. However, with the e-market covering buyers in a number of countries, that same seller may realize that the regional market for his or her service is collectively large enough to make operations feasible. The eMARKET therefore has the potential to bridge a critical information gap that may currently be operating to discourage producers of goods and services in the region. These benefits that I have alluded to are but a few amongst the many which eMARKET can bring to us in the region, and I trust that it will continue to be supported by CANTO's membership. Before concluding, I wish to make the point that the government of Guyana recognizes the critical importance of telecommunications in almost every aspect of our lives. Indeed, it is our recognition of this importance that led us to liberalize and open up the sector to competition within 60 days of assuming office in 2020. In so doing, we created the conditions for a vibrant and competitive telecommunications landscape, and already consumers are seeing the benefits. Consumers have wider choice and are seeing lower prices as operators innovate in their service offerings. Operators are investing in offering better quality services. Fixed and mobile broadband subscriptions have been growing steadily, and from all indications, there has been strong growth in the sector since the liberalization of late 2020. We followed the liberalization by introducing a lighter touch licensing regime for small broadband operators, and our number portability regime is scheduled to be launched this year. These measures are expected to further facilitate competition in the sector. All of this is taking place in an environment where our overall economy has been growing at double-digit rates on the year-on-year since 2020. And our non-oil economy has been growing at rates approaching 10% per annum. And it is in this environment that CANTO brings the eMARKET, which promises to take business performance in the telecommunications sector to another level. And I am particularly pleased that this initiative is totally driven by the private sector. I continue to make the point that our role in government is simply to provide the enabling environment within which private sector can grow and thrive. I see in this eMARKET an initiative of the private sector, by the private sector, and for the private sector. This is the type of leadership that we wish to see from the engine of growth, and we are pleased to support such leadership wherever it emerges. In concluding, I extend sincerest congratulations to the Secretary General, Teresa Wankin, and the team at CANTO for bringing this project to fruition. When I look at the scope of the initiative and the various modules it encompasses, I know that the project management task must have been challenging. Despite the challenges, however, here we are at the launch of this product, which holds so much promise for the sector and for the region. It is truly a significant achievement, and on behalf of the government of Guyana, I wish you every success in its deployment and its continued development. I thank you.
Thank you, Minister Waldron. Ladies and gentlemen, so there we have it. The history being laid by the Secretary General, the Vice Chairman laying the foundation in terms of the mechanics of what the eMARKET platform entails. Mr. Blackburn calling the charge, making the charge to the private sector across the region, not only locally, to get behind this process and what it entails and this transformative initiative. From Minister McCoy, in terms of pledging the support on behalf of the Office of the Prime Minister and also the local benefits that this project will engender, not only for the people of Guyana, but internationally. And to Minister Waldron for establishing the ecosystem and as to how this will operate, that it requires a light touch approach. It requires bridges to be being built. It requires a collaborative approach between the private sector and the public sector. The stage has been set, and I thank you all for attending this morning. Now, just some housekeeping matters before I close this segment of the events. We'll be having a 15-minute coffee break. However, I'll be asking identified persons as well as the ministers that are in attendance, the vice chair, as well as Mrs. Wankin, representative of the eMARKET platform, and sponsors to please stay back briefly for photo opportunities. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in 15 minutes.